Now, before we go further, let's just talk for a minute. Esther has a phrase that she uses to herself. I got to hit on that. In other words, during a dinner conversation, as they're speculating about it, Esther, she'll feel this. And sometimes it's because they're talking about someone who's dearly departed and they'll join the party and Esther will feel it. But always it's some rendezvous that you can feel. Do you get those feelings? Do you get those hits where you know? Well, that's what we're talking about. Ride the wave of those. And so we want to offer a whole bunch of words here. Don't try to make it happen. Let it happen. But get out ahead of it by identifying what you really like and why you really like it. And you want your list to be made from your clarity about what you're looking for, not from your agony about not having found it. You want to make sure which end of the stick you're on before you step on the gas.
So it's okay to get specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I get tripped up on the specifics sometimes.
The thing about getting specific, if you get more specific, if you have vibrationally prepared yourself, the specifics are received by you. You get in the vicinity of what you're looking for, your inner being knows you so well, will start feeding more and more clarity to you about what you want. So you think that you are conjuring the specifics of it when actually you're receiving the specifics of it because you are in the vicinity. That's a really important thing to talk about here. Did you get a card or anything that has the emotional scale on it today?
Yes.
Look at number 8, which is boredom, and look at number 7, which is contentment, and number 6, which is hopefulness. And right about there's very dim letters that say tipping point. Well, what that tipping point is, if you have clarified for yourself what you want and you feel contentment and even hopeful and satisfaction, if you're in that vicinity, then you're in the place where you can start receiving the specifics from your inner being. So we're going to be really bold here. We're going to say something that we've not ever said to any of you before. The specifics do come from your inner being. Say it better. The specifics come from strong momentum. So they might come from your inner being if you're on the upper half of the scale. They might come from the depths of your despair if you're on the lower half of the scale. The more practiced you are on a point on this emotional scale, the more those specifics will match it. So let's say that you had a partner, broke up, you felt betrayed, at first you were insecure, had a lot of grief and depression, even jealousy, and went into revenge. If you get stuck in revenge, that's a powerful point of attraction. You'll attract people that have never been mean to anybody, and they'll be mean to you. When you get a strong vibration going like that, you see, you just want to make sure that you're feeling good. That's why we think meditation is a really good tool before you start making your request to the universe about what you want. What do you want? What do you want? What is a delicious relationship? What's it like? What do you want?
Well,
now don't be,
it's all the things.
No. You know, don't be cavalier about it. The reason you're cavalier about it is you don't want to commit to something that you don't believe you can have.
Yeah.
So you're just going to remain wishy-washy. That way you never look bad to yourself or anybody else.
You know me so well. That's it. You got me there. Yeah.
But what is it about a relationship that is so exhilarating? Why would anyone want that? Why do you want that?
Well, it's, having a best friend that you can have sex with, to put it bluntly. It's that.
That's not unimportant.
Right. You mentioned sort of adoring each other. That's a really wonderful thing to look upon the person.
I really like those inside jokes. I like that we've walked around enough together that when we see something, it activates something in my bag of marbles and it activates something in their bag of marbles. We have this knowing thing because we've walked enough together that we know what that means. And each of us is easily calibrating to the best of us. So we can consistently make the best of everything. In fact, what I've noticed you're saying is that as I walked this earth alone, I did really good. But when two of us got together and we were on the same wavelength, really, really incredible, magical things began to happen. There's something about the power of us calibrating to each other while each of us is calibrating to our inner being that made it extra, extra, extra powerful. And I like that feeling of focus. I like not having to explain myself over and over again. I like not having to open a door and explain everything. I like somebody knowing who I am and knowing what I want and wanting to be part of something that feels good to me. Make it alive for yourself. I like eating the other half of something that somebody wants. I like sharing a meal if we like the same things, and it's nice if we do. I like sharing conversations. I like sharing friends. I like sharing movies. I like sharing. I like harmony. I like intensity. I like a little bit of contrast. I like reasoning together. I like thinking together. I like hatching new ideas together and not being on the same wavelength, and then each relaxing until we find a common goal in there and we realize that singularly we were this, but together we are so much more. I like the exponential power of two or more coming together and the thrill of aligning with our inner being. I like the power of alignment. I like co-creating better than I like creating, and I like a specific partner to co-create with who knows my mind and is in harmony with me.
You said that a lot better than I did.
Well, we got all of that out of your vortex. Every bit of it came from your vortex. But the thing that we want you to know is that all of you can feel it from what we've been talking about already here today. Don't put the kibosh on that. Don't let doubt step in. Don't let the waters get muddy. Take that feeling and milk that feeling. Speak in ways that enhance that. And don't wear yourself out on it. Let's take a step forward into deliberate creation together right now. See, what we just offered was easy for us because we're in your vortex and we can see what's there, and we just verbalized what's there. Well, if you're not in your vortex and you can't see it and you don't feel it, then for you to rampage when you don't feel it feels like a whole lot of work. And a lot of times it backfires on you. So the key, what we're talking about here, is find a way to feel something and then rampage about it. Find a way to feel it and then rampage. Don't rampage to create the feeling. Find the feeling and then rampage. And then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you'll find yourself feeling like when you're with your partner, there just aren't words. There just aren't words to explain the perfection of this. It's not words. No words. No reason to explain. Just an assumption that you know it too. You'll know it when you see it. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. A lot of people come into a relationship and it's pretty frisky and good, mostly about sex in the beginning. Then, because there hasn't been any long-range planning, any in-depth soul alignment, then the relationship doesn't have a lot of nutrition, so to speak. And so they're always on the hunt for that fresh new feeling. But what we want you to hear is rediscovering that fresh feeling within the relationship that exists is way less trouble and way more satisfying, because you can go deeper and broader and further and higher. It's nice.
Very nice.
Enough?
Yes, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Abraham.
Yeah.